So now we are back to English, so we can remove the headsets, and we will be now entering our final section of this debate entitled Mayors for Democracy and looking at democracy at local level. And I am very glad to welcome next to me to join me in this panel Adrian Schmid, President of the Swiss Democracy Foundation and the former Vice President of the Swiss Green Party. So please, Adrian, come and join us. And also Adria Duarte, Coordinator, International Observatory on Participatory Democracy, so IOPD, and United Cities and Local Government Spain. Please, welcome. Okay, so we have a presentation, I think, prepared, and I hope that my colleagues from the technical team will be able to share with us the presentation on the screen. Exactly. And I will start with Adrian. So, as I know about you, you were a member of the Lucerne City Parliament for almost 2 decades. You presided it over in 1999, and I know that you want to share us your thoughts and to also let us know about the Magna Carta. Yeah, right? Yes. So let's hear your thoughts. We have the presentation, and you also have it there, so you can look at it.
So thanks a lot. It's another very important and beautiful day. I mean, after a couple of days here in Bucharest, and I already spent some more time here, I'm really impressed. And I would thanks to everybody who is involved in this process, and especially to the one who had all to do this organization, Dana, Caroline, and a lot of other people. Well, man, I'm happy to be here, and just as you asked me, I would like to speak today about the Magna Carta. Did you know the Magna Carta? Please hold up your hands. Oh, maybe half of them. So I think I should give you some information about the Magna Carta. I will end my short presentation at just to propose to read what Joe Matthew, co-founder of the Global Forum, he published just a couple of weeks ago, a presentation. He published a document about the Magna Carta, how he wrote it during this process. Myself, as you just said, Anna, before, I'm one who really believes what you wrote in this introduction. I mean, let's start with the kids. Of course, it's the first lesson they learn in school. Not in school, they learn it at home, of course. But I will add and underline the second step they do, and they have to learn that's at school. And this is very important. So for the Swiss Democracy Foundation, I can underline it. It's very important to give the kids some opportunities to learn how democracy works. They have to learn, and they have to learn how they can do that maybe later. But in Switzerland, in my hometown, Lucerne, just 35 years ago, we started in the Green Party the idea to give to the kids and the young children, to give the right to go to a youth and kids parliament. That was something really new at this moment when we started. Okay. When we started with this idea, and I was quite surprised to get a majority for this idea, but this was a very important moment because the kids, they were invited, concrete, to bring their ideas to the parliament, to the kids' parliament. Of course, they need to get a majority because of their ideas. And when we had this idea, when we discussed this idea in the parliament of the city of my hometown, some of the people said, oh, the kids, they would like to get some more candies or whatever they want. But the reality was the interesting thing, and I go back and I will give you some example of that. Was quite a good experience because the kids, you know, they were talking about security in their school arena. They wanted to get maybe some more playground for them. And the city of Lucerne, especially in the moment when we started to prepare the Global Forum in 2020, just 2 years ago, I mean, this was the moment I had big discussion with the mayor, and he just got re-elected. re-elected 3 weeks ago, we had this idea to break down concrete these 20 dimensions of the Magna Carta in such a way that statements can be made on key aspects. And you can see, oh, you should move.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't do that. Who is responsible? Can I have a switcher, please? And can you do it for me, please? So go to the next. Okay, I just said, and maybe go one further on. I just said that the Magna Carta, we tried in the city of Lucerne to break down the 20 dimensions, and the 5 big questions to that. The first, participation. Of course, the second one, tools. And the third one, diversity. Maybe I can give you here an example from one city in Switzerland, Basel. It's a city close to the German and French border. They have 45 people. 45% of the people are not allowed to vote. Why? What do you think? Why they are not allowed?
We have there with the microphone.
Why?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's say the microphone.
Okay. Caroline, why they are not allowed?
They don't have citizenship, because it's very difficult to get it in Switzerland.
Okay.
They have learning or mental disability.
Okay. 45% they don't, close to 45% they don't have a Swiss passport in Basel. And of course some of them they are not, because they don't have the age. When I was 20 years old, I got the right to vote. In 1991, Swiss people got the right to vote with 18. And during the last years, we were been fighting very hard for the voting age 16. And we have already one canton, a small canton, who got the right for 16 to vote, not to be elected. This is a difference between, of course, this is a nice thing. But anyway, this is the way we try to fight for diversity. And then maybe the local state level, this is also for me, as I served such a long time in the local parliament, it's clear we do have to accept it's not possible to ask for a question maybe on the local level where it's not allowed. You have to decide on the national level, of course, because in Switzerland, you know that, of course, we have the local level, we have the cantonal level, we have the national level. It's always clear, defined in the law, of course, in the constitution. And maybe when I go back to the kids, as I said, the kids first, the last point, urban, no, that was too quick. Just 1 second, please, Dana. The urban situation, I mean, for especially, as I said, for kids, it's also interesting to get some influence into the parliament. But there's another group, this is the neighborhood organization. We don't have 4 levels in Switzerland, I said 3 levels, but we have also this kind of neighborhood organization in my hometown. And these neighborhood organizations are quite important because, of course, they don't have the right to go to the parliament, but they have the right to go to the government. They have the right, the possibility to ask for maybe a better situation close to the schools, because the security of traffic is quite bad in this area. So these are these 5 points, and you move one further on. And what we have done during the last during the Global Forum in 2022 in Lucerne, we got 3 levels. And you can see that here on the screen. The first level, I mean the blue one, that is clear. We have in the city of Lucerne skills, we have the possibility, we have the power, concrete for opportunities to learn from each other. That's a very important point. And as I was a president of the city parliament, of course, I was always the one who tried to get in contact with different cities around Lucerne, because we had to work together. It's clear in a global digitalized world, it's not possible that you can do everything on the local level or canton level or national level, because you are influenced by the worldwide situation. And this point, we have really a lot of opportunities in Lucerne. We have a good situation, and we had also success. The second level, of course, this is not so easy for us, but also there we have the opportunities, as I said before, to learn from the other side. And the last dimension, the third dimension, is where we are unable, and I maybe have to explain, as I said it just before, because we are not responsible on the local level for example, for the national Swiss Army. Of course, that's the way concrete we have. And maybe, Dana, you can switch now to the other presentation, please, or Cornelius, or the one who is responsible, please.
The PDF, please. To project it.
Huh?
They need to convert it into a PDF because the word
Okay.
won't be able to.
But I said it's not working? I saw it before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's a little bit... it's not possible to read that, but anyway, maybe it can give you... I just would come to explain maybe 2 points of the 20 dimension we have in the Magna Carta. The first one I said is the point number 6, the use power. And this is the point I like most, because young people, they are the future of our world. So we have to give them the opportunities, as I said before, to learn from each other, to go. And I give you an example, what for me, myself, was a quite good moment. I said before, we had the possibility to organize this youth parliament and children parliament in our hometown. And today, as an umbrella of the youth parliament all over Switzerland, the umbrella has 52 employees, paid employees working for the youth parliaments all over Switzerland. That means we do not only have it in Lucerne, in my hometown, we have it also in different cities, and that gives some power. And of course, these young people, these children, they need also somebody who supports this idea, somebody who organize also this session together with the kids. This is the point when I was so happy that, and I would call it maybe as a triple win-win situation, as we had in 1999, as the former First Lady from the US, Hillary Clinton, joined the Youth Parliament, the Children Parliament in Lucerne. And of course, when I say it was a triple win-win situation, it was of course a great moment for the kids to see and to learn and to get in contact with the First Lady of the United States. But it also was this is the second point, this was also a win-win situation for Hillary Clinton, because she had to learn, she was not allowed to speak in the kids' parliament. She had to get the help from another child, from a child, to get the possibility to speak. And of course, if you allow me to say that, it was also a little bit for me a win-win situation, because as president of the parliament, I was very happy about this moment we had Hillary Clinton in our parliament. This is one of these 20 dimensions, as I said before, of the Magna Carta, as the city of Lucerne tried to break it down of the possibilities. Maybe you can move a little bit, maybe it works with the presentation. Yeah, that's great. So that's great, thank you. And a little bit more. Okay, no, one more. Okay, you see that, it's in German, but it's a really important document. As I just give you some information at point 6, the youth people, maybe you can move to the last one, 20. Yes, this is I will translate it. It is in German. This document was written in German from the mayor's office in my hometown. It's the 20th point is the city, the democracy city of the happy losers. So this happy losers is something I really like, because the democracy city is a place for happy losers. No one of you, no country, no one can always be a winner. We are all losers. We have to lose, we have to learn. And democracy means always to go one step and take another step, take another step. Maybe you have to go 2 steps back. Maybe you can get another one forward. And what I always tried to explain and also to campaign for this idea of happy losers means to get a respect of the people. They didn't get a majority. There's always a minority. There's always a minority, and I got the impression during my last 20 days I spent in Azerbaijan, in Armenia, in Georgia. There are always a lot of losers, but I got also the impression they are not happy losers, because they don't have the possibility to bring their insight, their also very important ideas. And I myself, I'm happy that we in 1999, just 1989, we had this, we had to vote in Switzerland to abolish the Swiss army. And of course, Swiss people, they didn't vote to abolish the army, but more than 1 million people voted for yes to abolish the Swiss army, just 3 weeks after the wall broke down in Berlin. And this was the moment when 36.5% voted for a yes. So we can say we lost, but on the other side, we won the debate. We won the people. We also give the possibility to young people to bring their ideas into this debate. And this is the moment where we can speak about happy losers. And happy losers, as I would like to say it again, it's always to respect minorities. You have to find solution for minorities, for people they lost maybe the vote, because if you have, especially if you have a vote for 49% to 51%, then you have to take care about these big minorities. And when I go to the end, I would like to invite you, go to the website of the Swiss Democracy Foundation. You will find this document published from Joe Matthew just a couple of weeks ago, how he wrote the Magna Carta, because I saw half of you don't know the Magna Carta, and I would like to thank you for all the people who had also worked on the Magna Carta. It was not only Joe. I remember when I got first in contact with Bruno Kaufmann, co-founder in 1987, and we chose him as General Secretary of the Group for Switzerland without an army. This was one of the best decisions I made in my life, because he continued with the word, as I said before, to be a happy loser, because happy loser means also happy winner. This is my end, and I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very on point, as always, Adrian, and with a lot of good lessons for us to learn. I hope that also the mayors from Romania that will have to be elected on the 9th of June, so in 2 weeks, also share and understand these lessons and put them in practice. I would like now to turn to Adria Duarte, because I'm very glad to have him here next to me. And I know about IOPD, and I know that it's a very important international network which contributes basically to the increase of participatory democracy at local level. And I would like maybe for you to share with us about your work, but also like concrete examples of best practices that you have seen across the countries. Thank you.
Thanks to you, and good morning to everyone. And I'm very grateful to see so many people in a Saturday morning after all these days of debate. So thank you very much to be here and not walking around the city, this amazing city. So thank you to be here. And thank you, of course, to all the people that have made possible this event, to all the organizers. It's really a great opportunity to have these events. Our organization, and you were saying, it's part also of this idea, to connect people around the world that are working for democracy, to working for democracy. And I really want to also to appreciate all the people, the presentations, the panels that have been organized during these days. I think we had very interesting ideas, interesting projects, and I really want to be recognizing of all these people, these practitioners, these academics, these journalists, independent journalists. It was really interesting to know about all the work here in Romania, but also in Moldova and all the countries of the area. I think it's really important, the work that all these people are doing by their own, also the local leaders that we had the opportunity to have here. I'm representing an organization of local and regional authorities. And yeah, the main point of our organization basically is that it's to connect all these people that are working by their own in each countries, in each communities, for democracy, for fair elections, but also for creating one of the worlds that I've heard a lot, and it's one of the bases also of our narrative. It's the question of trust. I think it's also in the logo of the event. The question of trust. We're really living in difficult moments because with all the question of the fake news, the polarization, the extremism, we have really a data that many people are not trusting in the democracy, they're not trusting in the politicians, they're not trusting in the system, but even with the rest of the population, the people don't trust in their neighbors, in the community, and it's really a big problem because democracy needs this trust to work. In general, society needs trust to be a useful society, a workful society. So we're really in this work to build trust, to creating communities, and we think our vision is that it's very important, especially from the local level, because in the local level we have this proximity, as you were also telling Adrian about the experience that you made with the youth population in Lucerne. I think it's a very good example that how from the local, from the base, from the community, you can work to create, and it's very nice to start with the children that in the youth age, to create these ties and create this civic education, but also these ties, this trust, there's opportunity that people practice democracy, because democracy is a thing that you need to learn by doing. You need to do democracy. You need to be participate in election, but participate in this different process. So we have this vision that for democracy, it's so important to build these communities of practices at the local level. We really trust on that, and we heard so many examples of that. And my organization is working on that, to connect peoples around the world, to connect cities, and to help them to be inspired by the examples, that not to be alone in your little community, in your little country, because so many local officials, but activists and civil society organizations are working in their communities, in their territories, in the field, and sometimes they feel, oh, I'm alone, I have so many difficulties, we don't have enough resources. So we're trying to be a little sun in the desert, to be helping to create this connection, to create these opportunities, and to help them by sharing experiences, by sharing opportunities. I think we have 2-3 different main activities. For example, we organize one of the activities that I think it's very interesting. We organize some peer learning opportunities, for example, with different cities. We're doing in person, but also now with technologies we can do also in virtual mode, like peer learning mode. It's very interesting that people who weren't, usually it's from local government facilitators that are working in the field, like in participatory budgeting, in citizen assemblies, in the different experiences that you all know, like working with the youth, like in assemblies, like different, I see Katie, like legislative theater or other opportunities, that to be exchanging and learn about that. Because of course the context is different. In each country you have difference of culture, of institutional background, but even though some of the problems are very similar, so it's really an opportunity to learn that. So I think this peer learning opportunity is a great chance to present the work you're doing, to be like that other people can learn about you, but they can also help you to better enhance your practice, because the people make you questions, make you also comments or remarks that can help you also to improve your own practice. We have another activity that we just finished now, the college, the award on best practice in citizen participation. It's an award that we deliver every year to recognize these practices at the local level. That it's really focused on local and regional governments, but of course there's also a lot of activities that also implement between local authorities and the civil society, because we really believe in this connection about the civil society pushing and helping to promote and to also implement these policies really in co-creation with the local authorities. We really believe in this co-creation. And well, it's really a great opportunity, this award. I think next week we're gonna be able to publish in our website all these practices of this year. It's really, I really invite you to visit that, and then it will be an open process for the vote of the finalists. And then finally, the main activity that's very similar to this forum, we organize every year an international conference also to connect these mayors, local authorities, but also academics and civil society organizations. Every year it's in a different region of the world and with a different thematic. And this year it's going to be also in Europe, in Portugal, in next October, from 17 to 19 October, in the city of Balongo in Portugal, in the north of Portugal. And the main topic, maybe it's kind of European one, but it's about that, the populism threats that are really facing here in Europe, but in other parts of the world, and how about local communities of practices of participatory democracy can be, maybe it's not the only answer, because of course sometimes it's a global and national issues, but we really think that from the local perspective we can be part of the solution, that creating these communities, creating these experiences that really help people to be together, to open dialogues. I think we really need these spaces of dialogues, of co-creation, of have intergenerational dialogues, for example, but also dialogues with people that migrants origin and the people that are like from more local origin. So we really need these spaces from dialogue for co-creation. We really need to defend this idea of citizenship, of positive citizenship, of really empower the democracies. And I think, well, this conference will be an opportunity also to debate about that. We have an open call also for organized activities, so I really invite you, if you're interested, until June 2 is this open call, so you can, if you think that could be an opportunity also for your organizations to be doing some workshop or some session, we'll be more than welcome to have you. And I think basically that's the work we do. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to come with me. And before finishing, I just want to the mayors, you were asking the one word for democracy, and I think it's a very interesting game, and I think the majority of them say freedom. That, of course, I think it's maybe can be the first word, and we think it's about, of course, freedom. Could be also maybe equality also, but I will, in my representation, I will say also participation. I think democracy, we really need this participation in the process. We need people to be involved in them. We need people to be participating and really engaging in the process. Thank you very much.
It's true. Thanks a lot. I would also say dialogue, if it would be, like one word also. And we're looking forward to receive more information about the event in October. So if you would like to share with us some information once you have them, we would be super happy to distribute it as well to the participants and to everyone who's interested. So let's see, because we were brilliant with time this morning, so very good Saturday on spot. We still have time for questions, which is great. Oh, when we already have a person, and we will check for the other questions after. Please.
Yes, I've got a question to Adrian. I didn't really get it, but you said there are neighborhood questions which can be dragged to the parliament in Lucerne, and then and I wanted to know whether this possibility is only possible, or you can make things for these neighborhood participants, because the money of your budget stays at Lucerne, and things on top you give from bottom to up, because in Germany it is from top down to the bottom, and that is really a big problem in Germany.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Maybe I can explain the differences between Germany and my hometown Lucerne. I said they are neighborhood organizations. That's we call them, as you speak German, we call them Quartiervereine. That means this is not the fourth level, but this neighborhood organization, they are first, they get some money from the government. That's important. They have always at their sessions, they have a member of the government who join the session. That's really means dialogue on the so-called fourth level. The third point is they don't bring a proposal to the parliament. Of course, they can use the official tools like the instruments we have for everybody. You need 800 signatures, to get a proposal to the parliament. But anyway, you got the right as neighborhood organization, we have about, at this moment, about 12 or 13 so-called neighborhood organization, and I mean they can go to the government, not to the parliament direct. So that means if they have, for example, give you an example, as I just said before, urban situation, if they have a bad traffic situation just in front of a schoolhouse, of course, everybody is interested because everybody would like to take care of the kids. That's the way they do, and it works well. But you know, it's like in the children and youth parliament, sometimes it works well, sometimes it goes down and it goes up again. In the so-called neighborhood organization I'm living in Lucerne, I don't agree with them because they are a little bit too tired, I would say. But on the other side, I can see what the other neighborhood organization do, what they do for a great job, and also very important because they are much closer to the people in their neighborhood than the people from the parliament, or maybe from the government, or maybe from the cantonal or the national level. So this kind of neighborhood organization, that's something I really would like to propose. It's a good way to organize a dialogue between people and to find solutions and to make happy losers also.
Thank you. Let's see. Oh, we have there one more question.
Erwin.
Hello, my name is Erwin Meyer. I have two questions. First, on the Youth Parliament. Who elected the Youth Parliament? Was it other young people or was it top-down? And the second question is to you. I've forgotten your name, sorry. It's about
nearly the same name. Adrian.
Oh, it's okay.
Erwin.
Thanks. Oh, Adrian.
Just call us both Adrian.
Adrian the second.
He's Adrian number one, I'm Adrian number two.
One, okay.
Agree?
That's fine.
Okay.
So to Adrian number one, what would you say is the difference of your conference in October to this conference? Because here we have written down Global Front Modern Direct Democracy, and your conference is about participatory democracy. Maybe you can explain in some short words what's the same thing, what's the difference between participatory and direct democracy, especially in the relation to indirect democracy? Because I'm following it for a long time and I didn't get it until now.
That's a good question, yeah, about democracy. In origin, the word participatory democracy, well, it has a background, a long background, and I think the academics in the room can better answer that. I think, well, the idea of direct democracy is really, I think, more focused on the decision and the mythical idea of the referendum. No, the people are deciding directly about the process. The idea of participatory democracy, even if finally we talk a little bit about the same, but it's some differences. The idea of, even if in our conference we speak about participatory deliberative democracy and also indirect democracy, but finally we talk about how local governments deal about democracy in general. So we really focus on the different issues, but participatory democracy focus more on the idea of not just the vote, but all the process of deliberation. For example, the mayors that were before, all the dialogues, the process of public hearings, participatory budgeting. It's the different mechanism that citizens can participate beyond elections, that being in consultations, in co-creation process, and all the different dynamics of people are deliberating, participating. And I think the difference about direct democracy is the vote, even if it's a combination of both. So usually we can combine both. But the idea of the conference, we're really talking about general challenges of democracy and these ways that local authorities, local governments are talking about, are working on different practice of dialogue, of creating spaces of dialogue. And I think it's really a very similar event, even if probably some of the focus could be different of some of the participants, but I think it's really kind of similar event, yeah.
Okay, and my answer to Erwin, there's a kind of top-down and down-up system, because you can't make election for 8 years old kids, of course. So most of them, and I say it's a kind of top-down, I mean the parents, they're interested, maybe the parents, they joined the parliament, maybe the ordinary parliament, maybe 20, 30 years ago, of course, It's always this situation because there's some interested people, but it's also, as I said, it's a kind of up-down. Sometimes there were too much kids or children who wanted to be a member of the youth or children parliament. And maybe 5 or 10 years later, we had a crisis just 20 years ago where it was not possible to find enough children. But during the session, they vote for the speaker, and during the session, they have to vote to find a majority because they got a budget. The last time, maybe it's not, maybe more now than 20,000 euro or $20,000. That was 10 years ago. Maybe it's a little bit higher today. But they have to get a majority to use this budget. And it's, of course, a way to learn also to learn how money works. And, of course, interesting. I joined this session twice because that was something I was really impressed because they don't say, oh, we have money, we spend the money. I was surprised to see some young Greens that said, no, keep care of the money because we need the money also for other things. This is always to find a solution, and of course it's not working like an ordinary parliament. Okay. Is that okay, Erwin? Good.
Okay, let's see if we have one more question. Yes, we do.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Katie Rubin. Can I just ask a follow-up question about that youth parliament and also to this question of direct democracy, right, that we're talking about the decisions we make as citizens or residents directly impacting a change in our city or our region or our country. So they have a budget to spend. I imagine that's for activities of the youth parliament. But are there any mechanisms for real kind of accountability in terms of the recommendations of the youth parliament? There's a lot of youth parliaments in the UK, and I find that we find that they don't have a lot of teeth, right? And then sort of they're just sort of debating some issues, but it's hard to see the connection for those young people from that debate to what's actually changing, maybe around, health services or education services or whatever they're prioritizing. So are there any direct mechanisms for change of the youth parliament?
Yeah, there is one very important, and in the beginning, of course, the tools for the so-called kids and children parliament changed because in the beginning there were not a lot of rights because we had to learn. So the parliament, our parliament, decided to have something like a 2-year period to see what's working, how it's going. Then 10 years later we gave the right from the ordinary parliament to the kids and youth to get if they get a majority for a proposal, of course not of the national level, not of course on the canton level, because on the level local, so if they got maybe in the youth parliament this majority for a question, just as I said, maybe school security, they could write a proposal to the ordinary parliament. And the ordinary parliament had to discuss and to decide about this proposal. 10 years later, that means just after 20 years, we organized the youth parliament. They got also the right to bring this idea direct in the ordinary parliament. So these youth, they decided who will be the speaker in the ordinary parliament. This is a great moment for youth people, but there was a big fight for this idea because they said that they will cry, they will make noise, of course, they don't know how they understand. And I was surprised, to see what young people can do if you can teach them to learn about democracy. It's okay?
Okay, so I think we're right on time, actually. We finished the session, and I think that we should give a big round of applause to all the speakers that we had. Thanks a lot. We had